Turco with the FBI Citizens Academy. And this is basically something that is kicked off, which we'll be introducing Sheila here in a minute, to go across the board of various towns to find first responders that basically this thing could kind of really tell a story in itself. And you will hear that story from Sheila. So we've basically gone around trying to find town to town to town, introduce basically what this is all about, and set this up just the way we're doing right now. There's over, I think, 50, if I'm not mistaken, Sheila, locations, different locations that have received it.
Oh, right across the country, yeah.
Okay, so it's really popular. And you'll see why. I won't explain basically that. We are an organization that's connected only within ourselves and not part of the FBI. We're a citizens group that basically are ambassadors for the FBI, law enforcement. We go out of our way to create outreach programs, education coming from a lot of the FBI agents, town to town, various locations that we pick will be like the academy, not the academy, the headquarters in Chelsea. We'll bring in various audiences to listen to what some of the agents can share with us on past things, marathon bombing, Oklahoma bombing, things like that are all educational tools that we basically bring to the table. Here I'd like to also introduce Sue Durkin. Sue Durkin is our liaison to the FBI headquarters. We don't do anything without her okay, and we do get disciplined for it. That's pretty much what we're really doing here as an organization, and we'll just keep on moving forward till we get other towns. I just happened to stop by Bedford last night, and they were all getting a kick out of the fact that this was going to happen here in Lexington because they also did the same thing there. We've done it in Burlington last fall. So a lot of the connectivity around Lexington is starting to happen, which I'm really happy about. I thank Captain Mazerall for his helping to put this all together. This is something that we tried to do pre-pandemic. Wasn't a good idea. So I'm thankful you hang in there and finally get us to be able to do this presentation. The presentation itself will be done by Sheila to the two chiefs when we get to that point. Let me introduce Jim Stone. That's our benefactor for all of these dogs in this respect. We're really pleased about the charitable foundation that the Stone people will provide for us. This is Peter, is our treasurer of the board. Our vice president is Robin Putnam here, and again Sheila and the two chiefs. So without dragging this out any further, let me introduce Sheila, who will tell you the story of where this all came from and why. Okay, Sheila.
Thank you, Ed. So my name is Sheila Duncan, and I'm the founder of the Kinnick Foundation. The reason we founded the Kinnick Foundation is because we had so many requests for this puppy, named Trouble the dog. Trouble was designed originally by my niece, Kendra, when she was 12. We had a lot of cancer losses in my family. She lost her nanny, her dad, our family dog, Irish, to cancer, boom, 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 right in a row. So she was at my house one night, and the St. Jude, she was just doodling, and the St. Jude telethon came on, and she looked up and she said, oh, I have to help those kids, because she was so tuned into the word cancer. So she sat there and she just went, boom. And she drew this dog. She said, his name's going to be Trouble and he's going to help kids. And that's exactly what's happening. We deliver Trouble at our cost through people like Jim Stone and his Stone Family Charitable Foundation to first responders for kids in crisis at the moment of impact. So I was just telling a story a little bit earlier. Marblehead Police have Trouble. They reached out to me. And they said there was a little boy having a complete meltdown at school. There was a fire truck there, police officers, an ambulance, social worker, everybody. His mother was there, and no one could calm this poor child down. One of the officers remembered that he had trouble in the trunk. He opened his trunk, went like this to the little boy. The little boy said, Trouble! And he grabbed him, and everyone was like, and got into the ambulance, and off he went. So I could tell you story after story after story, and I love to hear stories from Trouble's utilized at the FBI. I hear stories from the victim witness specialists. And the stories are what keep us going. You know, what's happening on the streets. And so Trouble's a comfort toy that kids can keep. It's a tool for officers. There's a video on our website where you see the retired police commissioner, William Gross, speak, the chief of police in Lawrence speak about how Trouble is being utilized. So we're just thrilled to be able to give them to both departments today. And we hope we hear really happy ending stories from you going forward. So that's my story.
Okay, I think probably the next thing to do is present each one of the dogs to the chiefs.
I can
we
do
get
that.
them in pictures. And then we'll bring some more of the officers up, get them into the picture here. And if there's any questions, we can do interviews at the end. We're happy to do so. So let's do that next, Sheila.
Okay, we have
Presentation.
books too, by the way. There are 2 different books there. One is Where There's Trouble, There's Hope, and the other one is Trouble's in Trouble. And I was mentioning earlier, there's an officer who we made a real character about, Tom Hendrickson from Virginia. He just retired. And he said, and I was just saying, he's never seen anything in 35 years of law enforcement work like this works, which, you know, makes us feel good. And he's a character in the book, and you can read about him in the back of the book. So, you know, that's coming from one of your own. Anyway, so this is for
Thank
you.
you.
You're welcome. So there's a pile of books and a pile of dogs.
And I'm the Vice President of the FBI Citizens Academy Alumni Association. And our association got involved with Trouble the Dog through the Jim Stone Foundation, the Stone Family Foundation, my bad. And Jim was communicating with Sheila, who was also communicating with Ed LaTurco, who at the time was on our board. And that's kind of how all of this came about. And we started Ed started kind of communicating with different towns to see if there was a need, if there was a want, and that's kind of how we got going. I think this is really important for any community because, quite honestly, there's always going to be a child in need, and if an officer or police or fire have something in their back pocket that they can give to a child to help them get through a very stressful situation, any community could really benefit from this.
So my name is Sheila Duncan, and I'm the founder of the Kinnick Foundation. The mission of the Kinnick Foundation is to help those most vulnerable. What we do is we donate this comfort toy, Trouble the Dog, American-made, to children in crisis through first responders. Trouble is there for the moment of impact. We've brought Trouble right around the country, right across the country, and departments, fire, police, and emergency ambulance departments utilize Trouble on a consistent basis, and they're constantly reaching out for more. So we're gratified to be able to do this work. The officers tell us that Trouble is a tool for them. You know, they do such wonderful work on a daily basis, but as an example, Trouble allows officers to connect with the community and to connect with children, to let them know that the officers are there for them. So yeah, they call it another tool in their toolbox. Well, we're actually just finished our 3rd book. Our first book was Trouble, talking about his origins. Our second book was Where There's Trouble, There's Hope, introducing a little homeless puppy named Hope. And our 3rd book is Trouble's in Trouble. And Trouble's in Trouble just let kids know that it's okay to make a mistake and it's okay to reach out for help. And this book connects the police with Trouble the Dog.